So I watched the Dave Chappelle special, and I also seen the protests today with Netflix. Now, I'm gonna make this short and simple. I think we are hitting a problem as a community because we aren't allowing people to have their own opinion, their own perspective when it pertains to the freedoms and liberties of where we are in America. As a gay black man who has been bullied, almost killed, people making fun of him as a child, and people not understanding who I am as a gay man, I have grown and evolved to understand that nobody in this life is forced to believe in a certain lifestyle. I say that also to follow that I can't force anyone to understand who I am and what I am as a gay man. I can't change that narrative. But what I can do is try to put as much information out into the universe. Try to inform people as best as possible about who I am. I think where we're becoming problematic as a community, and if we're not careful, we're going to have more issues as time goes on, is that we are not allowing people to respectfully have their perspective and their opinions about who we are. Because despite how much protesting you do, despite how much pushback that you give, it's not going to change the narrative of what these people believe and think. You can't force people to understand something that they're not. You have to get to a place where you say to yourself, I am who I am, and it's none of your business. Comedy is a place where people who are in dark spaces, you try to find the light in the middle ground somewhere. And some comics don't have the best way of doing that for people because that's their form of expression for them of how they want to express their talent and their comedy. I feel nothing is said and nothing was said with this comedy special with other things that he made statements about when it came to making jokes about black people, when it came to making jokes about white people. What makes us different from being on the chopping block? It doesn't. If we can't make light of ourselves, then how can we come to a place of acceptance for who we are and what we are? I think the issue is in today's society, nobody is allowed to have an opinion anymore. If you have a different perspective, you are against the agenda. You're totally against the agenda because you have a different perspective of what the other person has. Instead of coming to a place where you agree to disagree and you move on. As a gay black man, I've come to the realization that everybody, no matter how much a person may say that they love you and accept you, is not going to like the life that it is they feel you live. And I'm okay with that. You want to know why? Because it's my life. I cannot force people to accept me for who I am. It's not going to happen. Not in today's society, not in the next one. Because it's always going to be more of them than it is of us. And until we come to that place of acceptance of saying, you know what? It's okay if you don't like me, but you will respect me. You will respect me. Respect is a whole different territory and narrative. But when it comes to comedy, freedom of expression, if we can't take a joke, then who are we? Who are we? We're sitting up here literally forcing down people's throat. Accept me. You're going to accept me. That's not the way to start it. It's going to do nothing but push people away. That's all it's going to continue to do. It's going to continue for people like us to be misunderstood, to be looked at as a community that forces who we are as an agenda down people's throat. That's what it's going to do. So when I watched the special, for me, out of all respect for my trans friends, I honestly did not see anything that was problematic for me. And if that offends anybody, then I apologize because I love everybody. I'm not a person that's against what people choose to do and who they are because we're all in this community of trying to move forward. But you can't get mad when people don't necessarily agree with your perspective. It's just not going to change the conversation any more peacefully. And with this being said, our voices they're starting to be taken away. Nobody can have a different perspective. Nobody can have an opinion. Nobody can stand within themselves and say, this is how I feel. Isn't this what this country stands on? Where is this whole different movement of, no, you're going to change your mind and you're going to respect and feel how I feel? That's not how we're going to move forward as people. So until we change this mindset as a community, we have a problem. We truly have a problem when it pertains to a movement of having an open acceptance when it comes to the gay, trans, non-binary community and trying to force who we are down people's throat. It's not going to work out. It's just not, because these people are never going to understand. Not in this form, not in this message, not in this fashion. When you're taking freedom of speech away, nobody wants to talk about how there's dysfunction and transphobia within the community. That hasn't been brought to the forefront, because when people get upset with people in the community, the first things that I hear is, oh, well, that's why you're a man. Oh, well, you look like a man. Is those not transphobic words? But when people who are not in the community say it, they're automatically called transphobic, which it is problematic on both sides. But you can't call one out and then have acceptance for the other. It just doesn't work like that. And for me, I just don't operate that way as a person. As a gay black man myself, I look at all sides of a situation to come to a medium. If you did not watch it to understand an individual opinion and perspective, how can you have one? And also, I can't tell you how to feel either. If you felt offended, I understand that too. You have a right to be, because it's your feelings. But you cannot sit here and continue to take people's perspectives away from them by forcing people to say, you're going to accept me, you're going to like me, you're going to listen to me. I have learned all of these years as a gay black man that no matter how much I explain to people who I am, they're still not going to understand it. I'm good with that, because my life is my life. When I wake up in the morning, I have to wash my own face. I have to lead my own day. I have to lead my own path. I don't have to sit up here and explain to you and to you and to you why I am who I am, because I'm still going to be me regardless if you like it or not. Yes, there is a lot of violence going on in the trans community for a various amount of reasons that is unfair, that is sad, and that we need to move forward and we need to make a change as people. But going this route about it, of trying to constantly take people's opinion away from them, is not going to do it. Because they're still going to feel the way that they feel at the end of the day. Period. If anything, it's going to make them dislike us much more. So we need to have a conversation, a different shift, a different change. Because if we can't be put on the roasting block, then people are never going to take us seriously, to at least have a sense of humor here. We have black people who get made fun of all the time. Hell, Dave Chappelle was talking about white people the whole entire time. Do you see white people boycotting Dave Chappelle, saying he's talking about us? They understand. They get it. We need to have a sense of humor, because I'm telling you, if we don't, the movement is going to start to go backwards. Even the ones who fought for us is going to stop. They're going to be like, we out this conversation. Y'all are taking our perspective away from us. You want us to respect you, but you don't even want to respect who we are and what we believe in and our perspective on the same, so we can all have an opinion in a respectful, we can live in the same space. That's just my point of view. We got to have a different conversation, or else this ain't gonna end well.